Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features a preview of the long-awaited USS Wisconsin. Wisconsin was an Iowa-class fast battleship and one of the final battleships to be commissioned worldwide. Wisconsin contributed to the closing stages of the Pacific Campaign in World War II by escorting aircraft carriers and shelling coastal fortifications occupied by Japanese forces. Now, beyond World War II, Wisconsin would go on and be actively engaged in conflicts in Korea and the Persian Gulf. After colliding with a destroyer in 1956, Wisconsin underwent restoration, receiving a new bow section from her unfinished sister ship, the USS Kentucky. And since 2001, Wisconsin has been a museum ship permanently berthed in Norfolk. So this is the USS Wisconsin. So let's start, as usual, with a preview. We will go through the armor layout. Let's quickly look at this. Fore-end deck and plating both 32mm. The deck armor is 38, armor belt, casemate is 38, side plating of torpedo protection is 38. This covers the belt armor. 307mm, 297, 163, and the aft end plating is all 32mm. The turrets get frontal plate 432, 184 top plate, a side plating of 241, and the rear plating is 305mm. Superstructure is 19. Now let's look at the ship's citadel. Very well protected and deeply submerged. So going to be very difficult to citadel unless it's flat broadside. Deeply submerged citadel running from the front turret to the rear turret. Deck plating on this citadel is only 16. Here 25 and 25, and the Atward ship is not rendering because I'm too high. Here at the front is 297, and here at the stern it's just 16mm. But deeply submerged under the waterline and pretty well protected by the belt armor. 307, 297 and 163. So this ties in to the survivability. Wisconsin gets 81,100 hit points. A torpedo protection damage reduction of 25%. Now, this is greatly enhanced by having access to 5 repair parties, the cooldown on which is 76 seconds. But here, most notably, Wisconsin comes with an immediate systems reload combat instructions. Now, not only do you get a huge buff to your reload time of 50%, once activated, you get a truly massive 80% reduction in the consumable preparation and reload time. Now, this is really quite powerful. Now remember, the ship is in testing and it is subject to balancing changes, but this is the current state of testing on the PTS. Now just while we're here, you do get an option between spotter and fighter. You get defensive AA. This is the build I'm currently using. I'm running with turret traverse and main battery reload time. I am running with my Halsey Captain at the moment just for testing purposes. This is the build I'm using. I am using Brisk. I am using Gun Feeder. And the rest is tank and damage application. So let's take a look at these main battery guns. Now you get 3 of these triple mounted 406mm turrets. So 9 of these guns in total. 2 fore and 2 aft. Now with this build you have a 26.4 second reload. Now I am using the reload mod. These guns have a max dispersion of 244 meters with a max range of 23.4 kilometers. Now if you go with the artillery plotting room, your reload drops to 30 seconds, but this max dispersion is reduced to 217 meters. Now, what's most notable about this is you can drop this reload by 50%. So even when you have the accuracy mod, you can potentially get a 15-second reload. Now throw in the adrenaline rush and you will see even enhanced reloads. So you can fire your guns, activate your combat instructions, and fire again, and then reload again, and fire again. So basically you can fire 3 salvos in 45 seconds. Basically what you can do, which is really quite nasty. 3 salvos in 45 seconds. And you can even reduce this greatly when you go with the reload mod. Now these guns have a Sigma 2.0, very accurate guns, and should you reduce that dispersion, you can get considerable accuracy on these heavy American armor-piercing shells. These armor-piercing have a max damage of 13,500 and a shell speed of 762 meters. You can also fire high explosive, 5,700 damage, 36% fire chance. They can pen 68 millimeters of armor and have a faster shell speed of 820 meters per second. Wisconsin also gets 10 of these twin-mounted turrets, 127 millimeter, so 20 of these guns in total. They have a base range of 7.3 kilometers. They fire high explosive shells. They can inflict a max damage of 1800, 5% fire chance. They can pen 21 millimeters of armor and have a shell speed of 792 meters per second. Wisconsin gets access to the Airstrike, the depth charge Airstrike, 30-second reload time, 2 available flights, and quite usable range, 11 kilometers. Now each flight drops 2 bombs with a max damage of 4,900. AA defense, a rating of 90 at tier 10, 49 of these single mounted Oerlikons, these 20mm guns. 49 of these, you can see them spread all over the superstructure and the deck. 20 of these quad-mounted Bofors, signature AA anti-aircraft guns. So 80 of these in total in 20 quad-mounted turrets. These secondary battery, these 10 twin-mounted 127mm guns. They are dual purpose, doubling up as AA. So all combined, they pump out a continuous average damage of 461. The majority of this is medium range, 537 value, followed then by short range, and then last but not least, the long range damage. Wisconsin can fire 8 shell explosions per flak salvo. They have a hit probability of 75%. This action zone is 3.5 to 5.8 kilometers. The priority sector reinforcement, where I go the max damage here, is 1764. Now this is further augmented by having defensive AA fire, 50% to continuous and 300% bonus to the shell explosion damage. And once again, you can greatly influence the reload of this and the cooldown with this combat instructions. This goes for all of your consumables. So the max firing range on these AA guns is 5.8 kilometers. So maneuverability, Wisconsin gets a speed of 34.1 knots, that is with Sierra Mike, base speed of 32.5. The turning circle radius is 920 meters with a rudder shift time of 13.8 seconds. And finally, stats wise, a concealment rating of 50, that is with a full stealth build, and this equates to a surface detection range by enemy ships at 12.9 kilometers, and you will be surface detected by submarines and aircraft, both at 9.3 kilometers. So this is the USS Wisconsin. Now just to give you an idea what these guns actually sounded like in reality, just listen to this for a moment. Wait for your hair to stand on end. So just a reminder, this is in testing at the moment, the USS Wisconsin. I hope you liked the video. Please feel free to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you all very much indeed for your support. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all.